Hey, what's up, guys? I want to do something new and wacky. I'm doing a crochet in chat today. Uh, I'll be making a shawl, or at least starting it at some vague capacity. So I'm starting off with a slip knot. Here she is, beautiful. And then I'm chaining 7 from there. Now you're going to put a double crochet in that chain farthest away from your hook, the first one you made. You know, that guy. Now you're going to chain 3 off of that double crochet. Then double crochet into the same spot as your first double crochet. Chain 3 more and turn your work around. And this is kind of how it should be looking by row 1. So row 2 is going to consist of 16 double crochets. So 7 of them go in the chain 3 space you just made. One of them goes in the double crochet from row 1. 7 more go into the chain 6 space. And then you're going to put one in the third chain of the chain 6 space. Through the chain. So from row 3, your chain 6 acts like a double crochet chain 3. So you double crochet into the first stitch to finish off that. Chain 1, you skip 2 stitches, double crochet into the next 3. Chain 1, again, skip 2. And then in your center stitch, that would be 8 from the last row. You're going to double crochet, chain 3, double crochet, chain 3, double crochet. That's gonna give you this is where we're increasing for the shawl basically. And then following that up is gonna be a chain 1, skip 2, 3 double crochets into the next stitch is 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches, and then another double crochet, chain 2 or chain 3, double crochet to finish off that row. Alright, and now we're on row 4. So what we're going to do is 7 double crochets into that chain 3 space. And then we're going to chain 1, skip 1, double crochet into the center of the 3 double crochets from the last row. Chain 1, skip 1, you see. And then 7 double crochets into the next chain 3. Double crochet into the center stitch. And then 7 double crochets into the next chain 3 space, so like a group of 15. Chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1. That'd be the center of the chain 3, or the center of those double crochets from the last row again. 7 more double crochets into that chain 6 space, because remember, that row started with our chain 6, and then turn, and then you're gonna solidify that into space with a double crochet into the third chain of that chain 6. You're going to chain 6 more and turn that baby around. Basically from here, it is just repeating rows 3 and 4 until you get your desired length. So that's what I'll be doing. I'm not gonna get that far in this video, but you know, just keep going, keep increasing, it'll be fine. Now it's time for the chatting part of the crocheting chat. So, I've had something scratching in my brain for weeks now, and I must get this out of my head. I must share the curse and not have it in my brain anymore. There's a little mouse in there, you know? Have you guys heard of the cheese caves? Yes, I said cheese caves. In Springfield, Missouri, there is a government stockpile of 1.4 billion pounds of cheese in caves. They store it there because it's better climate, you know, it keeps the cheese nice and cheesy. But 1.4 billion pounds of cheese. That's a lot of fucking cheese. And my first question is, why is the United States government stockpiling on cheese? Right? So I did research. So much research. The caves initially started in the 1970s, but this wasn't when the American government started hoarding cheese. They started in the 1950s, right after World War II, so they would have a stockpile of food. Okay. But here's my thing. So, the Agricultural Act of 1949 opened up a pathway for the US government to buy the cheese, buy dairy products from farmers in the United States. A surplus cheese, so this was cheese and dairy products that were not selling on market for market price. This worked for a little while, and then there was a disaster in the early 1970s where there was a domestic dairy shortage. President Jimmy Carter, he vowed to raise milk support prices. It's important to know that he was also elected to be president in 1977 because the government was buying surplus cheese, so they had a discounted price that they were paying. Oh my god. So, Congress used the Food and Agricultural Act of 1977 to help increase the dairy production in the United States. So not only did they increase the support payment that they would, the amount that they would pay for the cheese, they bought, it wasn't just cheese, it was cheese, butter, and dried milk. These were shelf-stable items. President Jimmy Carter also funneled about $2 billion into the dairy industry through the Congressional Agricultural Act. Fun thing. I think the thought process here was more cows means more milk means no more domestic milk shortage, but also if the farmers can't afford the cows, give them money to get the cows. By 1979, the government purchased $247 million worth of cheese, cheese and butter, which for the price they were paying, that was about 50 million pounds of cheese. In 1981, legislators froze the support price for dairy products at this point, which capped it at $13.10 per hundredweight of dairy. So basically, they were paying $13.10 for 100 pounds of cheese, butter, or dried milk. A lot of cheese. So much cheese. By 1983, the US government had also bought $2.7 billion worth of cheese and butter. They're still going. So, Ronald Reagan came into office. I took notes. He came into office in 1981. he started giving low-income families 5-pound bricks of cheese to try and drop the surplus stash that they had. This is where the phrase like government cheese comes from as well. Ronald Reagan was only able to get rid of 300 million pounds of cheese this way, but they were still buying more cheese. Oh my gosh. So, this is also where they tried to decrease dairy production, because basically the United States government has been holding up the dairy production between 1970 to now 1990. They're slowly trying to drop the support price, but they're also trying to decrease dairy production because also dairy farmers can just get more cows to get more surplus money. You see the problem? The government tried to pay people to stop their dairy production, slow it down. They also paid farmers to export herds to different countries or slaughter them all. It sort of worked, but also at the same time, it was only for participating parties. So you could just say, no, I don't want to do that, and then no, you don't got to do that. So by 1999, the support price was down to $9.90 per hundredweight. So it had dropped in 20 years by $3 to $4. Still baffling. Again, we currently, at least last that I know of, 1.4 billion pounds of cheese hidden in caves in Springfield, Missouri. All because the United States government literally held up the entire dairy production for over 20 years. 30 years? The United States government didn't put an end to the support pricing entirely until 2014, so yeah, okay. I should probably stop talking because this is... You now know as much as I know about the cheese caves. I hope you enjoyed my rant about the cheese caves. Let me know if this is a good idea or if I should never do this again or something. I don't know. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye.